March 5th, 1984. A tragic occurrence on this day kickstarted a massive reform in the United States healthcare system. Around 7:30 a.m., an 18-year-old woman died. Her name? Libby Zion. The cause of her death? Well, it's complicated. Let's begin on the night of March 4th, 1984. Libby Zion walked into the New York hospital feeling ill with flu-like symptoms, a fever of over 103 degrees Fahrenheit, and body tremors. Two residents inspected her, Louise Weinstein, a first year, and Greg Stone, a second year, but they couldn't determine what was causing her ailments. In agreement with the attending physician, Dr. Raymond Sherman, they prescribed her the opioid drug meperidine to help with her shaking. It was now the very early morning of March 5th. Dr. Louise Weinstein noticed Libby's increasing unrest and ordered for her to be strapped down to a gurney and given a haloperidol shot, a sedative. Meanwhile, Dr. Greg Stone tried to grab a few moments of shut-eye, which was common for sleep-deprived doctors. The residents thought that Libby was out of the woods, but that's when everything went downhill fast. 6 a.m. When Libby's temperature was rechecked, the screen displayed a life-threatening 107 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. Attempts to lower her core body temperature failed, and she quickly went into cardiac arrest. Resuscitation aimed to bring her back, but ultimately failed. 7:30 a.m. Had this been the end of her story, the name Libby Zion probably would have been forgotten in the vast sea of loss. However, this was not the end of her impact on the healthcare system. Later examination of her patient history revealed that Libby was taking the antidepressant phenelzine. This discovery suggested that meperidine and phenelzine's combined chemistry resulted in serotonin syndrome, basically a form of drug poisoning that caused her extreme fever and fatal cardiac arrest. In addition, results found that prescribing Demerol was contraindicated in a patient who was taking Nardil. It turns out that she was also on cocaine at the time. Now enters in an influential news columnist, Sidney Zion, Libby's father.
I'm moving on to Sidney Zion. For 30 years, he's been following the great Damon Runyon tradition of the journalist rogue, celebrating America's low life while skewering those on top. 18.
She was 18. And
You took her to the hospital.
Right, in New York hospital where they massacred her.
Suggested that she had cocaine or something?
They put out an enormous lie that they try to blame it on the victim, as they often do. And based on that terrible thing, we try to do something positive.
Yeah.
Upon discovering that his daughter was treated by inexperienced doctors, that his daughter had been forcibly tied to a gurney, that the attending physician never even physically examined his daughter, and that doctors regularly worked 36-hour shifts with barely, if any, sleep, he grew enraged. Using his powerful connections, Libby's father fought for hospital reform and brought a civil case to court that concluded in 1995. The grand jury found no criminal charges against the hospital and the residents, but the court brought two big issues into the spotlight. One, the unreasonable hours hospital interns and residents were working, and two, the lack of supervision these interns and residents had when making life or death decisions. Soon after, New York enacted the Libby Zion Law, which stated that, and I quote, "Doctors in training work no more than 80 hours a week and no more than 24 hours in a row and receive significantly more on-site supervision from senior physicians." End quote. Expanding the law in 2003, the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education made these recommendations mandatory for all residency training programs. To put a cherry on top of the bittersweet changes, in 1999 a landmark paper titled "To Err is Human" was published. Its findings exposed that as many as 98,000 people die in hospitals every year due to preventable medical errors. Critics argue that cutting doctor shifts short results in less experienced physicians and an ill-informed handoff of patients during shift changes. Such situations could result in opposing drugs administered similarly to Libby's. In 2022, the maximum weekly limit remains 80 hours for residents. Comment below your thoughts about the benefits and risks of limiting doctors' hours. Although Libby tragically died on that fateful day, her father's response to her demise birthed a monumental change in the healthcare system that is very much alive. And, as always, ad meliora, towards better things.